So we're back out today in the Peak District. What's going to be my first ever through hike. So I've done other adventures before. I've done long distance fell runs, I've done 50-mile ultras, but I've never done a through hike, and it's been something I wanted to do for some time. So I've chose the White Dart Peak Way, which starts in Bakewell, finishes in Hoe, just to break myself in. So we're going to try and do around 15 miles today. It's a 28-mile loop altogether, with a wild camp in between. I'm really excited to do this because I've not been on some of these trails before, so it should be a cracking day out, or 2 days out, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So just leaving Bakewell now, and we're going to head up onto the hills. We'll drop onto Monsell Trail, go through Monsell Dale, and cut across. So parts of this walk I've done before because I live at Chesterfield, which is pretty close to the Peak District. It's a little bit different to last week's adventure in the Bothy with Freddie. If you haven't checked that video out, definitely go and watch it. It's a cracking adventure. So we're just up above Bakewell there, and it's just probably about 9:30. Now I've got all day to do this 15-mile hike, so it's not going to take me all day to do 15 mile. So my plan is just to enjoy it, go at a steady pace. If I see a cafe, stop, have something to eat, or even if I see a pub near the end, maybe have a pint. So what I've been wanting to do a through hike for some time. I've been looking at the Limestone Way, the Derwent Watershed, but even though I've done long distance events, I didn't know how I'd fare getting up in the morning and starting again. So generally when you do an ultra, it's all out until you're exhausted in a way. Then the next morning you don't have to run again, you're knackered. Difference is with this, I've got to do a long walk, then I've got to crack on again in the morning. So I thought doing this 14-15 miles a day, it's going to be doable, so I can see how I need to be training for a longer one, as well as testing the gear out. This isn't the lightest pack in the world. I'd love an Atom pack, but at the moment I've just invested in a new DJI and a GoPro, so that'll have to wait for a little bit. I've got an Atom waist bag. I won in a competition from Andy Beavers, and it's a fantastic piece of kit, so it is worth the money, the packs. So hopefully in future I might crack on and get one of those, but today I'm just out to enjoy it and see what adventures we can have together. We've just come off the Monsell Trail now, and the area I'm in I've never been in before, so should be a great section to do. It's always nice to do something that you haven't seen before. Obviously sections of trail where you've been on, you know how long and tedious they can be, but the views around here are amazing. In the distance you've got Monsell Head. Got some fantastic looking buildings down there. So I'm approaching the 5-mile mark of today's part of the adventure. When I get to 5 mile, I'm going to sit down, have a chill out. Like I said before, there's no rush. Just going to enjoy it for what it is. Look at that sheep there. Face thinking, what are you doing on my trail? Hello. I've got a bit of a dab on now. Had to take the old hat off. Might have to take this windbreaker top off because it's starting to get a bit warm. I'm not complaining though, at least it's not raining. But that last hill there, it was on a road and it would be a bit of a kicker and it warmed me up a little bit. I think I've got another hill coming up now, but it's all good. We've definitely got the weather for it today. It is perfect. Not too hot, but there's like overcast cloud. I was hoping that we're going to be alongside a river so I could go for a wild swim. I know I did say that we're going to stop every 5 miles. I'm about 6.5 miles in now. I haven't stopped yet, but in this valley behind me, I'm just going to have a chill down there, maybe get the drone out. It's just perfect. The best thing about it is this area, because I've never actually been in this area, well, this valley I'm in now. I think I might have been in a bit further around with Freddie a few years ago when we did one of his first camps. But this area I'm in now I've never been in, so it's always nice to go to areas that you've never been before. Sometimes you think of the White Peak quite flat compared to the Dark Peak, but there's been some nice rolling hills up to here. And obviously the rock formations of the limestone looks amazing when you do get them. You don't get as many as what you would up in the Dark Peak in the gritstone, but it's still fantastic. Seven and a half miles in, still feel good, but I need to have that rest. Well, I said I would have at 5 mile, so I'm going to just find a little spot here, get my bag off, have half an hour and just enjoy the views. Just passed through the village of Lytton. Basically, my final destination for today is in the distance. You can see that tower. It's just up on that moorland there. So I've got a few more big climbs ahead of me today. Last one, at Helm. That's where the plague was. Hopefully we'll find a shop at Helm so I can get some drinks. I don't know what it is, every time I come out in hills for a few days, at night time I always gag for a fizzy drink. It's the sugar rush I need. So I'll definitely be buying a can of Pepsi if there's any there. Just made the 10 mile mark. I've got to say it's fantastic around here. The trails I wouldn't normally go on, obviously, because obviously we normally do a route where it's like a bit of a loop. Obviously this is through and out, but look at this, fantastic. I've seen the first white to dark sign for a while, so it's not really signposted too well. I have got it on my watch on the GPS, so it does fork off left and right here, so I'll just check that again so I don't want to make the same mistake I did before, because obviously, like I say, I've got 10 mile on my watch, but it's probably only about 9.5 mile if I didn't make that mistake. I haven't seen many people on this part of the walk. On the first part, obviously around Monsaldale, really busy, but you can understand that. But around here, I bet you get hardly anyone at all. I'm just dropping down into Helm now. Obviously this is the white to dark peak way. So we're in the White Peak at the moment. In the distance I can just see Caber Edge and Baslow Edge, so that's griststone instead of the limestone what you get in the White Peak. So heading to more familiar grounds, just over 11.5 miles in. I still feel great. Weather's perfect for this, just a nice breeze, just warm enough. I'm really happy I've wore shorts and my trail running shoes, so I'm super comfy. I think it'd have been hard work with boots on. So I'm resupplied now. I've just been to local shop in Helm. Got a nice pasty for a bit of lunch. I did find a pub. I did have a cheeky pint. It's a nice warm day, so it's why not? Looks like we've officially crossed into the Dark Peak. As you can see, all this purple heather. In the distance we've got Burbage Valley. Tomorrow's objective is going up onto Stanage Edge, then up onto Win Hill. So it's still pretty early, but I am going to look for a spot to camp in. I am not going to set my tent up too soon because there's a few people out on the moorland. Just going to chill out, probably get the drone out. I've never been up on this moorland before. I've been out on Burbage millions of times in the Stanage Edge area, but this moorland here, it's new territory to me. Been a cracking adventure. I'd be lying if I said I weren't tired. I am ready. It's weird because obviously you do long distance running events, you're still out the same amount of time but you cover so much more distance, and you're probably using the same sort of energy, obviously because I've got the heavy pack on. When you're running, you run lightweight, so it'd be nice to have a lighter weight tent tonight. I'm in my Helm 1. It's the lightest tent I've got apart from my bivy bag setups. I have seen different tarp tents out there, but for now just want to see how I get on. I have enjoyed it today. It's been an adventure. It was cracking that I could pick up supplies from Helm, so I took advantage and got some extra water. I knew I would only be carrying it up onto this moorland. Whatever I don't use I'll probably pour away. Just make my kit as light as I can tomorrow, because tomorrow is where the fun gets going and the hard work I need to put in for the big hills and big climbs. But I am ready for it. Right, I've just found my home for tonight, just down there. It's nice and sheltered, hidden as well. Now I'm not going to put the tent up quite yet, like I say, it's still pretty early. But tomorrow's morning's objective is to drop into Aberystwyth, grab something to eat at the outside cap before I make the great climb up onto Stanage Edge and walk across Stanage Edge. But today it has been a long day, but a very enjoyable day. I'll definitely do some more through hikes. I'm sure I'm booked already. It's just amazing how many miles and different places you can get to see on your feet without going in the car. Like I say, I've never ever camped on this area before. I've never even walked on this area before. As a kid, always been over on Burbage Valley area, and I've always seen this moorland over here and wondered what was here. Well, there's no reason that I needed to come up here because there were great walks out there, but sometimes you just got to try something different every now and again, and you'll find some gems in that Peak District area. You can see right in the distance Mantor. Obviously I camped a few weeks ago in Cavedale. I'll be busy there today because the weather's been the best it has been for some time. So like I say before, I'm going to get my drone out, have a chill, give it a few hours, set my tent up, get out of these sweaty clothes and have a drink. Right, I am pitched up for tonight. I did have the drone up, but it did get a little bit windy, so the footage weren't too great. the wind warnings kept coming on, so I had to come and land it quite quickly, but I did get a little bit of footage of the area I'm in. You can see from here, it's fantastic clear views tonight, and I'll show you where I'm camped. So in this particular area, there's quite a lot of bomb hole areas, so you can get your tent tucked in. So up here it's a little bit windy. Down where I'm camping, it's nice and still, so I should have a cracking night's sleep, especially how my legs are feeling now. They are starting to feel a bit sore, so tonight I'll have a good night's sleep. I've got a few films downloaded as well, but I'm in my Helm 1 compact, so I'm 6'2", and it is quite a tight fit. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I like to do a lot of bivvy camps, and so obviously this is massive compared to using a bivvy or even my Ridge Raider. The reason I brought this over my Ridge Raider is because obviously for cooking I want to be able to sit up in it and stretch out in it. I want all my gear inside the tent as well. I didn't know what the weather was going to be like, but last time I used this was on a winter camp, so I had a good, from probably about 4:30 all the way up to about 8 in the morning in it, so it's plenty big enough for me. Cracking tent. It is bomb proof tent as well, and it packs really small. It weighs about 2 kilograms, so it's not very light compared to like thru-hiking tents. Like I say, if I do get into it, maybe a tarp tent where I can use my poles, because I do use trekking poles. Today I didn't use the trekking poles, but tomorrow I'm sure when I've been through Haversige and start the climb up to Stanage, I'll be using them trekking poles. So tonight I've got my fire pot meals. I'm using an alcohol stove, and I'll bring you guys back when I start and do some cooking, and I'll show you inside the tent. Right, so I'm just going to get some food on now. So it's getting a bit windy out there, but this little tent's fantastic. So you've got a nice big area so you can cook here. There's another area in the back where I can put my rucksack, even though it's only a one-person tent. So I'm using the speedster stove today, so it's an alcohol stove. I'm not putting it on the ground straight onto the grass. I've got like a heat-proof mat that I put it on. Obviously you don't want any naked flames really, but obviously with the alcohol stove you're going to have a naked flame. So by using this heat-proof mat, it stops any heat transferring to the floor, potentially setting fires. Stove I'm using, the pot I'm using with the stove is the Totes 650ml stove pot. Really light, perfect for one person. That's all you need really for cooking like your freeze-dried meals and having a coffee. So as I said earlier on, this is a bit of a test of this adventure, to see how I fare doing a thru-hike. Obviously it's alright pushing your body to the limits one day, but there's another thing getting up in the morning, being comfy enough to do it again the next day. So I wanted to make sure that I was fine with that. Obviously if I'm doing a multi-day, so 3-4 day thru-hike, I need to know I have to push my body in, like I say, and the gear. So today I feel fine, just a bit stiff. I got outside the tent, did some stretching. I don't want to wake up stiff in the morning. So it's day 2, we're all packed up. As you can see, leave no trace. I've got my rubbish in my bag. It's not as nice today as it was yesterday. It's forecasting wind, so by the time we get on to Stanage Edge and on to Win Hill, I expect some wind, so I've left the base layer trousers on for now. Might take them off on the climbs, we'll see. So I'm going to pick the trail back up because I'm just off the trail from where I was camping last night. But looking forward to today. I've had a good rest. My legs feel a lot better today, this morning, than I expected them to be. But go on, let's go. If I've took one thing from these last 2 days, I've definitely found some new areas to explore. and I'm gonna come wild camping in some of these places with my lad Freddie, because they're quite accessible to the roads. It's not a big walk in, and I think it's one of the part of the Peak Districts not a lot of people come. Obviously they all go to the popular spots, but it's just fantastic here. We're definitely in the dark peak now though. The colours have changed. Obviously in the White Peak you had a lot of grassy areas. Here you've got the bracken and ferns and the golden colours. Nothing like a morning wash. That's definitely freshened me up anyway. I was starting to get a bit warm in the woodlands over there. Obviously I set off with my base layers on. I had my hat on as well. But I thought I need to get them off because I've got a climb coming up, and if I'm warm down there I'm going to be even warmer doing the climb. And I took advantage of that stream there, just freshen up a little bit. But not seen a soul out here yet. Cracking route this is. Just over 14 miles left to go. Best get a crack on. I think why we all like coming wild camping and doing these sort of adventures is that we just want to be kids again. Obviously when you're a kid, dream on doing different adventures, then you end up getting a job and you have less time. Sometimes you just need to make that time. I planned to do a thru-hike last year, but with different things I ran out of time. I sort of fell out of love with the outdoors for a little while. I think I just had too much of it. I know you say you can never have too much of a good thing, but sometimes you can. But this is just what I needed to get me back out and enjoy it. Bit of an hill here, bit out of breath. Definitely one to warm the legs up. So we've got Avicige just down there, so we're going to drop down into Avicige. Then we've got a massive climb up onto Stanage Edge in the distance. Follow the edge round, drop back down to Derwent, up onto Win Hill. That's the last big climb of the day, and it's the biggest climb of this trek. Then back down into Hope. Definitely warming up now. It's quite humid. Even though it's overcast, it's very, very humid at the moment. I mean, I looked at the weather forecast this morning, that's why I put the base layers on, so you're going to get really windy. But at the moment there's no wind at all. I know I'm sheltered a little bit, but yeah, there's no wind at all. I'm really happy I've put these shorts back on because I'm warm now. I've come into my first problem of this walk, and the problem is that behind me, they're the stepping stones I'm meant to cross, but because of the rain we've had, they're flooded. Now, I don't want to do a detour, I've already walked far enough. So I put my socks I had on yesterday on my feet, because obviously I want to keep my feet dry. I don't want my shoes and socks getting wet, so I've got my green socks in my pocket, took my shoes off. I'm going to have to wade through there, but it's going to be fun, it's going to be cold. Let's go. It's definitely freshening up my legs for sure. Oh, that's a little bit better, it's not as deep here. Glad I left my socks on now. It'd have been a bit tricky with bare feet on these rocks. So we're in middle of the river now. So only halfway to go. I think it's just started raining. Time to get the old feet dry now. Just come through that. Crazy. But if I didn't go through there, it would probably put 2 or 3 more miles onto my walk already, so I didn't fancy that. We've just left Abbotsford now. Filled my belly up with a breakfast outside in Abbotsford. I love that shop. Just can't afford everything in the shop. I love going in gear shops. They've got one of the best selections I've been at. So, start off the climbing. Just approaching Stanage now. I had to get the poles out. My legs started to stiffen up a little bit. You can see up there there's some climbers already. So this is familiar ground. I've been on this area quite a bit, especially that part of Stanage behind us. But I'm going to be walking it all the way down the edge to Derwent, and I haven't done all that before, so that'll be something different. I'm glad I had that breakfast in Abbotsford. Definitely give me a little bit more energy. So I'm going to crack on, get on top of the edge, and I'll bring you guys back. So I had to put the rain jacket on. As you can see, the weather's changed a little bit up on Stanage. In the distance where I'm heading, it's quite murky and foggy. So I've had all sorts of weather. I had the sunshine yesterday. Now I've got the rain and the wind. But at least it keeps me cool. Just a shame I can't get drone out up here, it's too windy. Just approaching the last climb of the trek, just above the Lady Bower. It stopped raining now, thankfully. Up on Stanage it was brutal. It was one of them where you just had to get your head down, keep pushing through. That's why I didn't do too much filming up there, because the wind and the rain, it was just driving. But sometimes it's them type of experiences what make you remember the adventure afterwards. Really enjoyed it. My legs are getting a bit sore now. I've done just under 14 miles today up to here. I've got about 2.8 miles left. Like I say, I've got a big climb up onto Win Hill, then we drop down into Hope. I would definitely recommend this to anyone thinking to doing the first thru-hike. I just looked on the internet and just put white to dark trail, and there's plenty of information on there. So all that climbing's made me a little bit too warm, so I've had to have a strip off. Got rid of the waterproof jacket. Fortunately I've just only got 2 miles to go before the end. It's been a cracking adventure. Definitely one I'll remember. I'd recommend it to anyone as well, this one. But what's next? What long hikes can I do next? If you know any, put some in comments below. Obviously these are the main ones, but I'm up to suggestions. Obviously I live in Chesterfield, so around that sort of area would be better. I was still doing my wild camping, so you'll still see me probably weekly doing wild camp. So right, I'm going to get pushed on right up to the top, and I'll bring you back when I get to the top of Win Hill. That's always a cracking view to have when you get to the top of Win Hill. Definitely worth the climb. As you can probably hear, it's windy down here, so that's why I didn't bring you and show you the views at the top. I did put some photos up so you guys got to see it. Final destination just down there. That's where I'll catch my train back to Chesterfield. I'll train to Sheffield, then Chesterfield. But yeah, it's been absolutely amazing, everything I could have wished for. I'll tell you something as well, it's great to see so many people out as well. especially being the weather we've had. It's not been too good, but today it's been raining a little bit, but as long as you've got right gear on, you're alright.